Stop and stretch, stop and stretch. If you can keep it going for as long as you can, providing that there is no pain in the joints. Usual props, I'm just going to get a band or a strap and a ball or a cushion if I don't have the ball, for a little bit of resistance and a little bit of assistance as well. And then same as usual, if I'm seated, see if I can find that neutral alignment, if I can find that nice upright position that is going to allow the diaphragm, the breathing muscle inside the ribcage, to be able to ascend and descend to create a nice relaxed breath. So making sure that I'm not compressing and squashing everything down. If I'm lying down, I'm just going to take advantage of the floor underneath to support everything. So I'm just going to let the head, the shoulders, the arms relax by the side, keeping the legs bent or straight, whichever feels more comfortable for your hips and lower back. The shoulders are relaxed. I'm going to do the usual scan over the body. So just noticing where everything is, and then how I feel to begin with. So am I straight? Am I wonky? Am I putting more weight onto one side than the other? Is my head centered? I'm not changing anything, just noticing where everything is. And then I start noticing the breath as well. I want the breath to drop down into the belly. So see if I can try and calm down up here into the chest. So I want the chest, the throat, the neck, the front of the shoulder to keep soft, to keep relaxed. I want the breath to come down into the belly. So feeling the belly expanding with the inhalation and relaxing with the exhalation. I'm not forcing that breath. I'm not pushing the belly out consciously. I'm just going to try and let the breath do the work for me. And then as I feel a little bit more settled, a little bit more relaxed, then I'm going to start focusing on the neck. I'm going to start turning the head to look around one side, come back, and then I'm going to turn to look the other way. See, as the head turns, if you can follow with your eyes too. So I'm going to try and see how far behind can I look to the right, how far around can I look with the left. Is there any catching? Is there any restriction that prevents me from moving right or left? And then as I feel the movement starts getting a little bit easier, I'm going to change the pattern. So see if you can move the eyes before you move the head. So I'm going to look to the right, and then I'm going to turn to the right. Then come back. I'm going to look to the left, and then turn to the left. And come back. I'm going to look to the right, turn right, and then I'm going to look left, to turn left. 4 more. Look right, turn right, look left, turn left. Last time. Look right, turn right, look left, turn left, and coming back. Relaxing the neck, I'm going to retest the movement, just so nice and easy. Eyes and head moving together. I'm going to turn to the right, turn to the left. Notice if there is any difference, for better or worse. And then this time I'm going to change the pattern. So I'm going to try and keep the eyes fixed to the middle. I'm going to turn the head still looking directly in front, and then I'm going to take the eyes with me. Then come back. I'm going to turn the head looking forward, and then I'm going to take the eyes with me, and then come back. I'm going to turn the head still looking forward, and then I'm going to bring the eyes around. Come back, I'm going to turn the head the other way, bring the eyes around, and come back. One more time on each side. Turning the head, bringing the eyes around, and come back. Turning the head, bringing the eyes around, and then coming back. Again, releasing the shoulders, relaxing the neck. I'm going to retest. So eyes and head moving together. One side and the other. Again, noticing if there is any difference, better or worse. And then coming back to the middle. Giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. And then this time I'm going to move from the thoracic spine, still working in rotation. So if you're seated, you can cross the arms onto the chest, you can bring the arms to the front, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep the head to the middle, and then I'm just going to start rotating the rib cage gently from side to side. So see if I can try and loosen up into the upper back. If I'm lying down, I'm going to keep the head to the middle, and then I'm just going to roll from shoulder to shoulder without turning the head. So trying to massage across the middle of the back of the rib cage, focusing on a point on the ceiling. See if I can keep looking at that point as the arms are swaying from side to side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Slit or rester for the arms, for the shoulders, and then I'm going to try again. This time I'm going to turn the head too. So I'm going to roll to the right, turning the head to the right, and then to the left, turning to look around to the left. So especially if you're seated, see if you can use the space the best way. So I don't have the floor stopping me, preventing me from going around. So I can really turn to look around one side and then turn to look around the other way. Each time almost as if I was trying to look around a little bit further. So how far can I see when I turn to the right? How far can I see when I turn to the left? Each time as the spine gets a little bit warmer, can I see a little bit more? Can I turn a little bit more? Without creating tension, without forcing. See if I can feel just a little bit more tension into the side of the belly. The obliques are tensing to create that little turn from one to the other side. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, relaxing the back, and then I'm going to work on the hips. Seated, I'm a little bit restricted as I'm sitting on the seat bend, so I can't really move the hips, but I can still try to get some movement. So I'm going to shuffle the feet and the knees nice and close together. And then I'm going to, with the left hand, I'm going to reach onto the right leg. And then pulling the legs to the left, I'm just going to turn away. So just a little rotation, moving the legs as well. Then with the right hand, I'm going to reach to the left leg, and then pulling the other way, I'm going to rotate to the other side. If I'm laying down, I've got plenty of space to move. So I'm going to let the arms open out to the side, and then keeping the feet and the knees nice and close together, I'm just going to start rotating one way, coming back to center, and then I'm going to rotate the other. Back to center, and then to the other side. So rolling from hip to hip, from side to side, just relaxing the back, making sure that I'm not trying to push hard into the floor. I just want to keep as loose, as relaxed as possible. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back to the middle, relaxing the hips, adjusting the legs, adjusting the arms. So it's a little bit more movement along the spine. I'm going to stay with rotation, I'm going to stay with circle abduction, and then this time I'm going to start moving on the shoulder. So I'm going to start with a little circle. So imagine with to have the pencils instead of fingers. I'm just going to stick my right arm in front of me, and then I'm just going to start drawing little circles to the front. Progressively see if I can spiral out into a bigger circle until I feel that if I go any bigger, my shoulder starts crunching or it starts becoming too painful, my neck starts stiffening. So especially if I'm sitting, as the arm feels heavier, then if I need the rest, I'm just going to take that rest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remember which direction you were going. I'm going to have a little rest, shake off the arm, and then I'm going to reverse the direction. So I'm going to start with a small movement, and then again progressively see if I can get into a bigger and a bigger one. 3, 4, 5, a little clicking in the shoulder is not bad, as long as there is no pain with it. 3, 2, 1, and release. Relaxing the shoulders, shaking the arm, relaxing the arm. I'm going to try the same thing with the left. So I'm going to stick the left arm in front of me, and then with my pencils, I'm going to start drawing a little circle. Progressively see if I can make that circle bigger. The same as I did on the right, making sure that the movement is not causing grinding, it's not causing tension, it's not causing pain in the shoulder and the arm. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember which direction you were going, and then after a little rest, I'm going to reverse. So I'm going to go the other way, starting small, and then progressively going bigger and bigger. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And release it back. Relaxing the shoulder, relaxing the arm. There's a little bit more movement into the shoulder joint. I'm going to repeat the same, but this time working the hip. So if you know that you need a little assistance, I'm just going to set the band behind that right thigh so that I can assist with the band. Or if I'm seated, I can always grab hold of the leg, because the leg is not too far. If you're lying down, the leg is further away from you, so it's better off to support it with the band if you need that support. And then think of your thigh bone. So imagine your thigh bone to be like a massive pencil. Can I start drawing a circle with the pencil in front of me? So again, it could be a little movement. If I'm seated with the foot, can stay on the floor, you can lift away. It's whatever the hip can do on this side. If I'm lying down, the movement could be small, it could be big, but just making sure that the hips are not moving. So I'm not rolling my hips side to side, I'm trying to keep stable in the hips. And then similarly for the shoulders, making sure that the hip is not grinding, so the movement is not causing me pain. It feels smooth, it feels relaxed. 4, 3, 2. Again, remember which direction you're going, having a little rest. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So I'm going to pick up the leg if I'm laying down, and then I'm just going to start with a small circle, progressively see if I can make it bigger, but making sure that the hips are not moving. It's just the leg into the hip socket. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And releasing down, relaxing the leg, you need to rest it for the arms and for the shoulders too. And then I'm going to try with the left side. So I'm going to connect it to the other leg, supporting the other leg if I need the support. And then I'm just going to start circling around. So again, think of the thigh bone going round into that circle. So see if you can picture the head of the femur at the top of the leg, just gently rolling into the hip socket to see if I can try and take some of the tension, some of the stiffness off the hip, off that side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remembering which direction, I'm going to have a little rest. And then I'm going to repeat it the other way. So I'm going to go around the other way, starting small. And then progressively see if I can get a little bit bigger circle line. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And releasing back, relaxing the hip, but releasing the leg. So a little bit more movement into the shoulder and the hip. We're going to go back into the back again. This time we're going to work lateral. So I'm just going to lengthen through the back and drop the shoulders down. Think of a nice long neck. And then this time I'm going to start flexing to the side. So think of your right ear coming down to the right shoulder. And then the left here moving towards the left. So see if you can picture a gentle stretch that from the earlobe drops down the side of the neck, reaching the top of the shoulder. Making sure that the movement is not causing pain, especially referred pain into the arms or tingling into the fingers. So I'm not compressing the nerve. And then same as we did for the rotation, just comparing the two sides. One side feels easier, one side feels a bit tighter, or I can feel the stretch on both sides, but I feel a different stretch, a slightly different stretch. Again, I'm not forcing, making sure that the shoulders are keeping down. I'm not trying to pull the shoulder to the head. I'm trying to bring the head to the shoulder or the ear to the shoulder. 4, 3, 2, 1, and returning back to the center. Returning the head back to the middle, and then this time I'm going to get the thoracic spine to follow. So I'm going to drop the right ear to the right shoulder, and then I'm going to flex it to the right. Then easing my way back to the center, left it to the left, and then flex into the left side. See if you can picture your spine, especially the top of the spine and the back of the rib cage. See if you can have a picture of your spine flexing sideways. So I'm not just leaning to the side, I'm trying to flex to the side. Come back to center, and then I'm going to try and flex the other way. If you're lying down, you might want to support the head. So I'm just going to pop the head, I'll pop the hand into the back of the head so that I can carry the head with me as I'm reaching one way, swapping, and then I'm going to reach the other side. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, relaxing the neck, relaxing the back, and then I'm going to try the same, but this time I'm going to focus on the other end of the spine, so I'm going to focus on the hips. I'm going to come up with a little hip hitch. So think of the right hip pulling up towards the right side of the rib cage, the left to the left. So if you're lying down, the back of the pelvis is just gently hitching side to side or shifting side to side. I can feel the tension into the side of the belly. I can feel the tension the other way. If I'm seated up, then imagine to be pulling just one seat going off the chair. So I'm going to try and pull up on the right, ease back, pull up on the left, ease back. If I need a little help, I'm going to put the hands onto the chair to encourage the movement. If I can, I'm going to take my hands away, making it a little bit more challenging, really trying to get into the side of the belly. Tends it to lift up and then drop it back. Tends it to lift the other way and then drop it back. Just making sure that the neck doesn't start pulling, so I'm not stiffening into the neck, into the jaw. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, relaxing the hips and releasing the back. So a little bit more movement through the spine. I'm going to stay with the lateral movement, working on the shoulder. So this time I'm going to start coming out with a little lateral movement. I'm going to get into a little down waiter. So if I'm seated, I'm going to bend the elbows. I'm going to tuck the elbows into the side of the waist. Turn the palm to face up to the ceiling. And then holding my try, down waiter, I'm just going to open out and then let it drop. Then I'm going to come back to center, and then I'm going to open to the side. So think of the top of the arm, just a turning in and out into the shoulder socket. So I'm not swinging the arm, I'm not letting the arm lift, I'm not reaching it behind, I'm just turning it out and then turning it back. If I'm lying down, I'm just going to set them by the side, and then as I rotate, imagine your thumbs to get closer to the mat. And then I'm going to rotate back, squeezing the elbows a little bit closer to the side, and then I'm going to rotate again. Squeezing the elbows a little bit closer to the side, and then rotating again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Returning the arms back to the middle, relaxing the shoulders. And then I'm going to focus on the hips and focus on the legs. Still working on to that lateral movement. I'm going to repeat on the same side. So I'm going to shuffle the feet and the knees a little bit closer together. I'm going to keep the left leg nice and still, and then the right leg I'm going to start opening to the right. As far to the right as I feel in control. If I'm laying down, making sure that the weight of the leg is not pulling me in that direction. So see if I can keep stronger, see if I can keep steady with the hips. Closing back to center, and then repeating again on that right side. Same as usual, if the leg doesn't respond very well, then I'm going to use the hand to guide it. So I want the leg to open out, and then I want the leg to come back. So as the leg opens, the tension is coming from the side of the hip. As the leg closes, it's coming from the inner thigh. Side of the hip is pulling it out, and then the inner thigh is bringing it back in again. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. And releasing back, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. I'm going to do the same thing, but with the left side. So the right leg gets to rest. The left leg, I'm going to open it to the left. And then squeeze it back to center. So same as I did on the right side. Guiding the leg if I feel that I'm struggling a little bit with one direction or with both. See if I can find the little connection into the side of the hip, allowing the leg to pull out, and the inner thigh, allowing it to pull in. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. And releasing back, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. It's a little bit more movement into the hip joint. I'm going to change the direction of the movement again. Each time I'm going to work in extension. So starting off with the neck, think of the head moving. I'm going to get into a little skull rock. So think of pushing the chin into the back of the throat. I'm going to give myself a double chin. And then I can feel the back of the neck is flattening and lengthening behind me. Then I'm going to release, and then again, I'm going to try and lengthen and relax. Lengthen and relax. If you're lying down, it's easier as you've got the mat to guide you. As you push the chin down into the back of the throat, imagine to be pressing the back of your neck flat against the mat. And I'm going to ease back into neutral, and then I'm going to press it down towards the mat. If the head is slightly raised, so if you're resting the head onto a pillow, onto a support, just make sure that you're not forcing. 5. 4. 3. 2, last one, and release and back. Then I'm going to try and see if I can bring the movement into the thoracic spine. So I'm just going to start lifting the breastbone up to the ceiling. So I'm going to extend my way up, and then I'm going to release down. I'm going to lift and back. So if you're lying down, think of the back of your rib cage trying to lift away from the floor. If you're seated, see if you can isolate the movement or focus the movement at the top of the spine. So the lower back is not moving, it's just the upper back. I'm going to try and extend and then come back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Relaxing the shoulders, giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. And then from extension into the thoracic, I'm going to move back into the cervical. So I'm going to move back into the neck. I'm going to try and extend through the neck. So instead of pressing the chin into the back of the throat, see if you can think of lifting the chin up to the ceiling, but making sure that, especially if you're seated, you're not letting your head drop. So I'm not compressing the neck. So I'm going to try and stay long, and then I'm going to lift. I'm going to look up as high as I can, with the front of the throat, lengthen it, and then I'm just going to bring the head back. So I'm going to try and look up, look back, and then I'm going to return back to the front. As you're lifting up, so you're stretching the front of the throat, so you're stretching the tongue muscle as well, where it inserts into the neck, into the throat. So if you want to make the stretch a little bit stronger, try to play with the position of the tongue. If I push the tongue into the roof of the mouth as I'm going up, I can feel a little bit more of a pull into the front of the neck. If I keep it loose, it feels softer, it feels easier. 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Releasing the neck, and then I'm going to move back into the thoracic. This time I'm going to work on flexion. So using the pillow or the ball, if you're seated, I'm going to place the pillow or the ball into the middle of the chest. And then from there, imagine to be pushing the ball into the back of your rib cage. So I'm going to try and round myself over the ball, and then I'm going to release. I'm going to round and release. So see if I can try and free the tension from the back of the rib cage, so you can picture the spine opening up, so creating space between the vertebrae, between the facet joints, and then at the same time trying to open up across the back, so from shoulder to shoulder. If I'm laying down, I can still use the ball or the pillow, but I will need one hand to support my head as I'm coming up into the flexion, rounding myself around the ball, and then coming back down again. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and release it back. Giving the head a gentle roll, making sure that the neck doesn't feel stiff, doesn't feel tight, and then I'm going to move down into the lower back. I'm going to go into lumbar flexion, so I'm going to go into a little pelvic tilt. So think of the movement down into the lower back. If I'm lying down, I'm going to tilt the pelvis back. I'm going to try and flatten the lower back into the mat. It's the same as I did with the neck area. I'm going to try and press it down, and then I'm going to rock my way back into neutral. So tilting and releasing that tilt. Tilting and releasing that tilt. If I'm seated, if you start to see, you can bring the focus further down into the lower back. So see if I can move it from the bottom of the spine, not the top of the stance. So I'm just going to roll back onto the tailbone, and then I'm going to try and come up onto the seat bones. Roll back onto the tailbone, and then up onto the seat bones again. So gentle rocking, forward and back. Connecting through the center, using the belly to help me tilt, and then come back from the tilt. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the back, releasing the hips. So again, a little bit more movement along the spine. I'm going to, same as I've been doing so far, working that flexion extension into the shoulder. So this time I'm just going to go into a front raise, one arm at a time. I'm going to raise the arm up at the front, reaching it back as far as I can, and then I'm going to return it back by the side. With the other arm, I'm going to do the same, and then coming back. As you're working one arm at a time, then if one shoulder feels a little bit stiffer than the other, then the stiffer side will move less, the looser side will move more. But I'm not going to force the stiff side to follow the movement. So I want to keep it relaxed on the right and relaxed on the left. But at the same time, noticing the difference between one side and the other. 4, 3, 2, last one. And releasing back, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the arms. And then we're left with the flexion extension with the leg. So think of one leg or both legs together. So I'm going to push the feet into the floor. So if I'm seated, if I'm lying down, I'm going to try and bridge my way up. If I'm seated, I'm going to try and stand up on the legs. Then as I release, I'm going to try and pull up on one leg. Then I'm going to drop down, I'm going to push my way up. And then as I release, I'm going to flex the hip and then try to pull up on the other leg. It doesn't matter if the foot doesn't lift off the ground, just to see if you can think of front and back of the hip working this time. The front of the hip to try and pull the leg up, and then the back of the hip to push the leg down into the floor. So if I'm seated, exactly the same. So I'm going to try and Lean forward into the legs as if I was trying to stand, and then I'm going to sit back, and then I'm going to try and lift. Then forward as if I was trying to stand, and then back, and then I'm going to pull the lift on the other side. So focusing on the front of the hip, see if I can feel those muscles kind of like twitching, tightening to create that lift. And then thinking of the back of the leg and the back of the bum, driving the hips forward, driving the hips up. 4. 3. 2. Last one. And releasing back. Relaxing the hips or releasing the legs. When you're ready, if you're lying down, rolling over onto your side, and in your own time, pushing yourself up into sitting. Finding your comfortable seated position, leaning against the wall, sofa, just making sure that there's nothing that is going to slide away and make you fall. Using the arms for a little support at the back. And see if you can try and find the seat bones and really trying to lift yourself up on top of the seat bones. Lengthening through, lifting through. And then think of creating more space at the front of the body. So I want the all of the front to lengthen and lift. So I'm going to start pushing the chest forward. I'm going to draw the shoulders back. I'm going to press them down. I'm going to look forward. I'm going to look up. I'm going to look back. And then I'm going to release. Doing the reverse, letting the chin drop down to the chest and the shoulders come forward. I'm going to run my way forward, drop my way down, as far down as I feel comfortable. And then I'm going to curl back up, extending through as much space as possible, pushing the chest forward, shoulders back, drop them down, looking forward, looking up, looking back. And then release and coming forward, rounding the back of the neck, rounding the back of the rib cage, allowing yourself to relax forward. Last time, extending up, opening up as much as you can, lengthening, lifting at the front, and then release and back. One hand to the belly, one hand to the back. Take your bow, give yourself a proper bow. Any question or any